Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. जयो कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम, जयो कृष्ण बलराम। जयो राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम, ललिता विशाखादि राधे श्याम, ललिता विशाखादि राधे श्याम। जयो वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम, जयो वृंदावन धाम। जयो राधा विनोद, राधा विनोद श्री राधे। जयो जगन्नाथ, जगन्नाथ, बलदेवा, जयो सुभद्रा। जयो गौरानिताय, 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 जयो गौरानिताय। जयो गौरानिताय, 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 जयो गौरानिताय। गौरानिताय। हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौरा हरि बोल। जय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace AC भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ग्रंथराज श्री श्री चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for today's discussion. We are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 25th chapter and verse number 264. The chapter is titled as Lord Chaitanya, how the residents of Varanasi became Vaishnavas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivers them. So we'll read from verse number 264. Jiva nistarite prabhu भ्रमिला देशे देशे आपने आस्वादी भक्ति करीला प्रकाशे। जीवन निस्तारिते प्रभु भ्रमिला देशे देशे आपने आस्वादी भक्ति करीला प्रकाशे। जीवन निस्तारिते प्रभु भ्रमिला देशे देशे आपने आस्वादी भक्ति करीला प्रकाशे। Prabhuji's 25th chapter. Madhya Leela, 25th chapter, verse number 264. Prabhuji's like to repeat, someone? Shiva nistarite prabhu brahmila deshe deshe apane aswadi bhakti karila prakashe। हे प्रभु रमीला देश देशे बने आस्वादी भक्ति करीला प्रकाशे। वैष्णवीस माताजीस। जीवन निस्तारिते प्रभु जीवन निस्तारिते प्रभु भ्रमिला देशे देशे अपने आस्वादे भक्ति करेला प्रकाशे। जीवन निस्तारिते प्रभु मीला देशे देशे। अपने आस्वादे भक्ति करेला प्रकाशे। Read word to word. Jivan Starite, to deliver all the fallen souls. Prabhu, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Brahmila traveled Deshe Deshe in various countries. Apane personally Aswadi, tasting Bhakti, devotional service. Karila, did Prakashe, broadcasting. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. To deliver all fallen souls, the Lord traveled from country to country. He personally tasted the transcendental pleasure of devotional service, and he simultaneously spread the cult of devotion everywhere. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally traveled to different regions of India to spread the bhakti cult throughout the country. He also personally relished the transcendental activities by his personal behavior. He has given an example for devotees to follow. That is, one should broadcast the cult of devotional service. He specifically instructed his devotees to enjoin all Indians to broadcast this message throughout the world, because at that time the Lord could not personally travel to other parts of the world. In this regard, he has left two instructions. Bharata bhumite haila manushya janmayara janma sarthaka kari kara para upakara. All Indians should seriously take up the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and should perfect their lives by adopting the process of devotional service. After perfecting their lives, they should broadcast this message all over the world for the welfare of all human beings. Para Upakara. CC Adilila 9.41. A Vaishnava is specifically interested in Para Upakara, doing good to others. Prahlada Maharaja was also interested in this. He did not want to be delivered alone. Rather, he wanted to deliver all fallen souls who are bereft of knowledge of bhakti and who misuse their intelligence for the temporary benefit of the material body. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wanted his mission spread all over the world. Prithivi che acheyat nagaradi grama sarvatra prachara haibe mora nama. In every town and village, the chanting of my name will be heard. Chaitanya Bhagavata Antya 4.126. Following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are trying to broadcast his message throughout the world. By his mercy, people are taking this movement very seriously. Indeed, indeed, our books are extensively distributed in the Western countries, especially in America and Europe. Even the ecclesiastical orders in these countries are appreciating the value of Krishna consciousness movement and are ready to unite for the highest benefit of human society. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may therefore take this movement seriously and broadcast it throughout the world, from village to village and from town to town, just as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself did. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायन विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदु स्थं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। पंचतन्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं वन्दे गुरून् ईशभक्तान् ईशम् ईशावतारकान् तत्प्रकाशांश तत्शक्तिः कृष्णचैतन्यसम्नकम्। Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you for today's discussion. I personally thank Narahari Prabhu and devotees for giving me this opportunity to be able to serve in this capacity. And I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnava and Vaishnavis to be able to speak something that is pleasing to all of you, all the lordships here who are established here as Shri Shri Radha Vinoda, Shri Shri Gauranitai, and Shri Shri Jagannath, Balabhadra, Subhadra Devi, and Sudarshana, and his pleasing to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. जीवन स्तारिते प्रभु भ्रमिला देशे देशे आपने आस्वादि भक्ति करीला प्रकाशे. To deliver all the fallen souls, the Lord traveled from country to country. He personally tasted the transcendental pleasure of devotional service, and he simultaneously spread the cult of devotion everywhere. We all know that the Lord advents many times in many yugas, and his purposes are also different. He comes with different purposes. Is it not? In Bhagavad Gita, what was the purpose he quotes? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he says, this is my purpose. But was that the only purpose? Did he come to establish dharma? No, he did. He came for so many other reasons. He wanted to deliver the weight of burden of demons on this planet. Is it not? Krishna appeared because this Prithvi comes in the form of a cow and invites the Lord to say, you have to come, Bhubhara Harana, he's called as. You have to come and relieve the burden that I'm carrying, because a mother can carry anyone. Mother is something who can carry as many children as she wants. Sometimes mother can carry 3 children in her tummy, triplets. But what she cannot carry is that child who is a demoniac towards his own father. A mother cannot tolerate such children. So therefore, Mother Prithvi goes and asks, these children of mine, they have become boj. They have become a burden on me. Only then the mother feels the burden. Otherwise, mother never feels a burden, no matter how many children she carries. Then the Lord advents. So the advent of the Lord is many, many reasons. And here in this verse, Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami, this chapter is a chapter where the Mayavadi sannyasis of Varanasi have been delivered. That is the chapter. They've all become Vaishnavas. And how they have become Vaishnavas is what is expressed in this verse. This is a very beautiful verse. Swayam Prakash Prabhu was intending me to speak on this because the book marathon is going on. And we can take inspiration from our acharyas of how to meditate on these verses and get inspired. We can always see in the modern world, everybody is doing propaganda, is it not? Do you all agree? Is it not? Propaganda is everywhere. Can you give me an example of a propaganda here? Any example of a propaganda in the modern world? Politicians, yes, they come and propaganda. They do propaganda. Please vote for me. I will take care of you. I will do all that is needed only until he wins. After he wins, he forgets everything. You see, there is so much propaganda in the modern world. At least where I come from, I live in a city called Melbourne in Australia, and there is a lot of push on autopilot cars, self-driven cars. Nowadays, the cars, you have lane control. You can actually lift your hand and the car manages to be in the central lane. People are enamored by these toys. People never grow up, actually. Initially, they play with smaller toys. As they grow up, they play with bigger toys. The enamorment to toys doesn't end, you see. And that is the reason we are stuck in this material world. We wanted to play. So Krishna said, okay, go and play in the material world. Our affliction with the material world does not end. So much so that the beautiful car manufacturer, Tesla, has manufactured this autopilot cars. Or the news of how many fatal crashes has happened in these cars is not published so widely. There are almost in a million 9 fatal car crashes happening. Fatal, you know what it means? People have died using autopilot cars. They have died because they have thought, they have put their trust on this technology, and the car has taken them to the department of Yamraj. They were on autopilot of karma, karmic baggage. So they were finished. So like that, so many propaganda is going on, and public innocent jivas are exploited all the time. Sometimes by the corporate world, sometimes by Maya herself. Maya throws in so many allurements in this world. One of the best allurement that Maya throws, what is the best vehicle that Maya throws, which considers to be autopilot? Our body. Is it not? We think this will take me to what I want. This body will take me to the destination that I desire. Whatever desires I have will be ultimately fulfilled by this body that I have been provided by Maya, only to be snatched away at the time of Mrityu, So the propaganda is going on. Recently, where I live, just 3 blocks away from the place where I live, there was an abandoned building. The council had asked us permission that we will open a pub in that place. This is the council. This is the corporate council of that area, like a corporation of that particular layout. Now imagine if somebody applies for a permit of a pub, you wouldn't agree with it, isn't it? So all the public were saying, we don't want a pub. The council arranged a meeting with the builder, etc., etc. And this is the famous pub where a cricketer, very famous Australian cricketer, was killed in that pub. But we don't want that hellish place to come back again and resurrect. So we expressed our rejection to say we don't want the pub because this is a residential area. But Can you believe the public said it is a nice place for entertainment? We can take our family there and enjoy. So finally, yesterday, I got the email to say the council has approved for the opening of the pub between 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. in the night. Can you believe drunken people roaming all around your house? Um, uh, so this is the predicament of the society. The council, which is meant to protect the residents of the society, tries to make money out of these charlatans who are trying to sell alcohol and make money so that the council can become richer. But what's the point? You're not protecting your own citizens who are living in that area. So therefore, in this world, everywhere there is propaganda. But when the Lord comes, many people think we are doing propaganda of Bhagavad Gita, we are doing propaganda of Krishna consciousness. Actually, the Lord, when he came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he did not do any propaganda. Why? Because if you see in this verse, Jiva Nistarite Prabhu Brahmila Deshe Deshe. He roamed many regions of Bharata Bhumi to what? Jiva Nistarite, to Tarna. Tarna matlab to cross the ocean, to help them to deliver from this material world. Jiva Nistarite. But did he really go to preach? Actually, he did not. Why? Apani Aswadi Bhakti. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not descend to preach at all. That is why you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not write any scriptures. The only lessons he left was the Ashtakam, the Chaitanya Shikshashtakam that he is left with us. Otherwise, there are no written books of his instructions. Of course, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami has expressed Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. The expressions of Chaitanya's heart, Rupa Goswami knew. Therefore, in the obeisances to the Goswamis, we say Shri Rupam Sa Agrajatam. We say Rupa Goswami's name first and then his Agra. Agra is the elder brother. We say the Rupa Goswami's name. We pay obeisances to Rupa Goswami first, not to Sanatana Goswami, which is interesting. Why? Because Rupa Goswami understood the deepest recesses of heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's propaganda is not there. He just is enjoying his bhakti. Because he's enjoying his bhakti, the whole world is automatically is getting delivered. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for two reasons. In the Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami expresses in the verse number 4 and verse number 5. In verse number 4, he expresses, please repeat after me, Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vitirna kalau samarpayitumunnato ज्वलरसां स्वभक्तिश्रियम् हरिः पुरटसुन्दरा द्युतिकदम्बसन्दीपिता सदा हृदयकन्दरे वपुः स्फुरतु वशचीनन्दनः. This was the first reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented into this material world. Anarpita chiram chirat. Charim chirat karunaya avatirna kalau. What is this? The Lord wanted to establish the Yuga Dharma. What is the Yuga Dharma? Harinama Sankirtanam. So he wanted to advent to establish, but actually this was also coincidental. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavat paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. To destroy the enemies was coincidental actually. Even in the Krishna, when Krishna appeared, his primary reason was to express the Vrindavana Rasa Leela. Rasa Parayana. We sing in the Vibhavari Shesha in the Mangalarti in the Vrindavan. Rasa Parayana, the Rasa Leela was the utmost rasa that Krishna came to give us actually. Establishing dharma, destroying the demons was just coincidental because the Lord doesn't have to personally advent to do all of this. In the same way, the Lord came here, advented to establish the Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma is Sankirtanam, Harinama Sankirtanam. So we are praying to Shachinandana who resides. May that Lord reside transcendently in our innermost chamber so that we can follow in his footsteps as he enjoys the transcendental mellow of Harinam Sankirtan. Actually, when he came, he himself was tasting the sublime mellows of Harinam Sankirtana everywhere. But while he was enjoying it, while he was going mad in Harinama, Harinamamrita, he was garlanding the whole world with Harinama Premamala. Like he was making a garland of Harinama Sankirtana, and he was garlanding the whole universe. His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj says, he's written a small book on saying how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu garlanded the whole world with the holy name of the Lord. The holy name is made with Harinama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he was garlanding. As he was singing, he was garlanding. That was the first reason. What was the second reason the Lord appeared? In the third chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami expresses the internal reasons or the confidential reasons of why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. This is very interesting to understand, because in this verse we are reading today, it's very concerned to this verse because it is apane aswadi. That word actually triggered my interest in why is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writing apane aswadi. He is actually tasting his own bhakti. So we will recite this verse. Please repeat after me. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladhine Shaktirasman Ekatmanau Api Bhuvi Pura Deha Bhedam Gatau Tau Chaitanyakhyam Prakatamadhuna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhavadyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Krishnadas Goswami writes, this is the confidential reason of why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented. Actually, these are very esoteric topics. Srila Prabhupada said, for devotees, what is the ABCD book for us? Bhagavad Gita. And what is a master's degree in for a devotional service? Srimad Bhagavatam. And what is the PhD study? Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is a contribution of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So therefore, these are topics, very esoteric topics of innermost recesses of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna and Radha nahi anya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna are non-different. These two personalities, Radha and Krishna, have again become one in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has taken the hue of Radharani, the mood of Radharani, and he has advented. And again, these three reasons in that chapter number, the third chapter, the fourth chapter, I think, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami lists three deeper reasons or the confidential reasons. The first reason is he wanted to understand, Krishna wanted to understand, what is the position of Srimati Radharani? What is her position? Because she seems to be enjoying more than me. I am Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu, Akhila Rasamrita Murthy. I can enjoy to the max, and nobody can enjoy as much as I can do. But here Radharani seems to be enjoying more than me. So I want to understand what is her position. That was the first reason. The second reason he wanted to see if Radharani is enjoying something, and what is the object of Radharani's enjoyment? Krishna. So Krishna was thinking, there is something in me that Radharani enjoys. What is that is in me that she enjoys? Well, if you want to enjoy something as in you, you have to stand out of yourself and enjoy. So therefore, Krishna wanted to take the form of Radharani and then see what is that sweetness that he himself bestows. He himself is a personification of that bliss. So therefore, that was the second reason. And what was the third reason? No, the third reason was, what is the mood with which Radharani enjoys? What is the mood with which Radharani? So what is the mood with which Radharani is enjoying the bliss that Radharani is enjoying? So therefore, Krishna wanted to enjoy all these three reasons. That's why these are confidential reasons with which Krishna had come here as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The reason why he also comes and why these are esoteric topics. This is a exclusive contribution of Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. You won't actually find this in any Vaishnava Parampara of speaking of these topics, because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in one of the verses in Adi Leela, Aishwarya Jnane Te Sab Jagat Mishrita, Aishwarya Shithila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. Even transcendental knowledge is mixed with Aishwarya Jnana. Aishwarya Jnana Ete. Aishwarya Jnana Ete Saba Jagat Mishrita. Because even when you are studying spiritual topics, Aishwarya is mixed. What is Aishwarya? Awe and reverence. See, when you see Vishnu or Narayana, natural feeling that you get is what? Awe and reverence. You play, oh, Krishna, Vishnu, and you play obeisances, and you become afraid, or you become respectful of that particular deity. Is it not? That is what is called Aishwarya Jnaneta Jagat Mishrita. What happens if you do that? What happens if you do that? Aishwarya Shitila Prema. Prema, that love that you can express towards Krishna, it becomes Shitila. Shitila means weakened. It becomes weakened. Aishwarya Shitila Prema and Nahi Mora Prita. Krishna says, this does not please me, because this has a taint of Aishwarya in it. Because then you cannot express. Imagine Yashoda Mai is feeding Krishna. Oh, my dear Supreme Lord, I am offering idli, vada, dosa to you. Please take my offering, my naivedya to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Can you imagine if Yashoda Mai is offering like this? Krishna will say, who is this? He wants to enjoy the bliss of Vatsalya Prema that his mother is expressing. He should enjoy. When I can enjoy, when we all can enjoy that prema with our mothers and fathers, why not Krishna? Is it not? So therefore Krishna wants to enjoy. But if that Aishwarya Prema, Aishwarya Bhava is there, then Nahi Mora Priti. Krishna cannot enjoy. So therefore, if Aishwarya is there, Prema gets Shitila. This exclusive contribution of Gaudiya Parampara is to remove even that Aishwarya Prema, to say then you can express your love for Godhead freely. And that is what you see in the Vrindavan Leela. In Vrindavan, this is an exclusive contribution of the Brajvasis. You won't even see this feeling in the Dwarka Dham. That is why we also distinguish between Dwarka Krishna and Vraja Krishna. That is why somebody might think, what is this, Prabhuji? You know, in ISKCON wale na thoda pagal hai. Oh, Dwarka Krishna or ye Krishna, maybe they differentiate. They differentiate between Vishnu and Krishna. The reason is Krishna is a very, very personal deity. He's a very personal deity. So you can have that personal exchange with him as a father, as a son, as a lover, as a beloved, as a friend. So many relationships you can have with Krishna. That relationship you cannot have with even Krishna's own forms. Can you have this relationship with Varaha? Probably not. You cannot have this relationship with Narsinghadev when he is breathing fire out of his nose. You cannot. All you can do is pay obeisance to Narsinghadev. But even with Lord Rama, you cannot, in one sense, because Rama is the supreme Lord and Rama was Maryada Purushottam. He was a king, but Krishna was not like that. Vraja Krishna. Therefore, Vrajanath, Sakshat Vrajendra Nandana, that feeling we cannot get with any other forms of the Lord. That is why Krishna advented. Now, in this episode, in this chapter, the context, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was not mingling with any of the sannyasis in Varanasi. You're aware of that, is it not? When he was in Varanasi, Banaras, he was not mingling, because the sannyasis there were all, grave sannyasis. Sannyasi will not dance. Sannyasi will not smile. If you smile also, it's an insult to sannyasi, they think sometimes. Very grave. They're almost like graveyard only. So we don't like to be graveyard, we like to sing and dance. Spiritual life means it's full of life. It's not grave. It's not graveyard. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not mingle with the graveyard sannyasis. He said, let me avoid these people. They're always grave. He used to sing and dance and relish the mellows of Harinam Sankirtan. But what was happening? The sannyasis there were blaspheming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like. So a Maharashtriya Brahmana, he comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, Mahaprabhu, I have arranged a satsanga for all these sannyasis to come, and I pray that you should also come, because it is only you who can deliver these sannyasis. Otherwise, what can we do to them? They are completely lost. They follow the scriptures and yet they are lost. So-called Vedantis, they follow the Vedanta and yet they are lost. We were coming from ISKCON Whitefield and we were hearing a lecture, and all of a sudden YouTube popped up a lecture, and that lecture's title was, "If you are Brahman, why worship God?" That was the title of the lecture. Can you believe this is how they are confused? If you are Brahman yourself, why worship God? This was the title, and people will think, oh yeah, it's a nice proposition. If I am God, why should I worship God? So this is how they're confused. Mayavadis are confused. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. So he agreed. He said, let me go. And these sannyasis were headed by whom? Prakashananda Saraswati. He was an erudite scholar of that time. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enters the Brahmana's house and he goes to a place to wash his feet. We all know the painting, beautiful painting, I think Jadurani Mataji has painted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washes his feet and he sits down in the same place where you wash the feet. And when he sits down, after a few minutes, there was a glow from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He started glowing, and that glow distracted the so-called grave sannyasis. And they looked at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they got attracted to his transcendental beauty of Gaurasundara. They came running, headed by Prakashananda Saraswati. They came to him and they said, "Oh, Chaitanya, why you are sitting here? You are glowing like Narayana himself." That was the only time they were correct. That was the only time they understood the purport of Vedanta. They said, "You are glowing like Narayana himself. Why are you sitting in such a dirty place?" Right there, sometimes we think Mahaprabhu was trying to attract them by doing some magic, by making some glow behind his head. No, Mahaprabhu was apanaya swadi bhakti. Even there he was relishing the sweet names of the Lord. Even there he was united with his Dyuti Kadamba Samsandipitah. His glow was not Mahaprabhu's glow. It was the glow of Srimati Radharani. It was the mercy of Srimati Radharani that the Mayavadi sannyasis were attracted to. Because Krishna is, if we have false ego, Krishna has more than us. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha mattah parataram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjay. Krishna says this. Imagine if you have ego, imagine the Parama Purusha, how much he will have. But that is tamed down by the duty of Radharani, Srimati Radharani. And that glow is what Prakashananda Saraswati was attracted to. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes there and sits among those sannyasis. And then there is a beautiful discussion that happens, which we know in the Adi Leela, the 7th or the 9th chapter. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami elucidates, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains why he does not associate with them, because they misconstrue the meaning and purport of Vedanta Sutra. So that is what goes on. In fact, in this verse, so that is one part where apani aswadi. I wanted to focus on how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in all his leelas that he participated, all times and places and circumstances, he was just enjoying his bliss of bhakti. And that is a reminder for us that when we preach, we don't preach to assemble devotees. We don't preach to make devotees. We preach to relish bhakti. When we relish bhakti, then we don't have to do anything. That enthusiasm itself is intoxicating to others. That is all. That is the example that is being quoted in this verse. Apani aswadi bhakti. And this is the same thing Srila Prabhupada was doing. And in this verse also, Prabhupada quotes, Bharata bhumite haila manushya janmayara janma sarthaka kari kara para upakara. On Thursday, I think, was it Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day? In the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Pranati, we sing a very interesting, we address Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati as with a very specific Pranati, Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarini. He is called Gauravani Shri Murtaye. He is an embodiment or personification of Gauravani. Gauravani means the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and that were composed by Rupa Goswami. And Bhakti Siddhanta was a personification. He was Sri Murtaye. Dinatarini, and he came to deliver the fallen. But this personified form of Gauravani was distributed by whom? Gauravani Pracharine, Paschatya Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada was distributing the personified Gauravani's teachings, which is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Therefore, we sing Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi means which is predominantly what we see today in the modern world. Everywhere. Paschatya means actually Bharata Bhumi is more Paschatya these days than the Paschatya Desha. Actually, where I live now, Melbourne, Bharata is towards the west. So in that sense, Bharata Bhumi has become Paschatya. Of course, the purity of the land is still there. Bharata Bhumi is a very auspicious land. Therefore, Prabhupada says, if we have a body that is taken birth or related to Bharata Bhumi, our primary duty, what is our primary duty? Janma sarthak kari. That is our primary duty. Means we have to deliver ourselves first. And then what is the second duty? Kara para upakara. Then you deliver others. Then you share this mellow with the others. So therefore, this is what Prabhupada came to give us. That is why Prabhupada gives this in this purport that we have to do this. And even Prahlad Maharaj prays like this in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Swastyastu vishwasya khala prasidatam dhyayanstu bhutani shivam hitodiya manascha bhadram bhajata tadokshaje aveshatam no matirapya haituki. He says, in this world, everybody is Matsarya. Matsarya means what? Envious. Let everybody who is envious be delivered. Prahlad Maharaj prays for everyone. Swasti astu vishwasya kala prasidatam. Every envious soul be delivered. Who is an envious soul? How do you identify an envious soul? Yes, exactly. Who said that? Yeah, if you have a material body, we are envious because we are envious of Krishna. The fact that we have a material body is because we are envious of Krishna. Of course, we cannot equate the liberated jivas like that, because the liberated soul, although embodied, they are not within the body. Why? Because they don't have dehatma bhava. They are not attached to the body. So therefore, they are not. They are different from us. That is why Prabhupada brought in this uniqueness. And even when Prabhupada also did this kara para upakara. How did he do para upakara? By his own experience. Prabhupada's uniqueness was when he traveled around the world to preach the cult of Krishna consciousness. Cult again is a wrong word these days because it's seen as a misnomer, but cult in the sense the mellow of Krishna consciousness. He also, again, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was enjoying the bliss of Krishna consciousness. It's not that he was inventing strategies like the corporate world. They will sit and discuss in a management discussion. Let us invent strategies to preach Krishna consciousness. No, everything that he spoke was, what do you say, was all of was an intuition. It came out all of a sudden. It's not that Prabhupada was strategizing how to do it. Sometimes we say Prabhupada had unique strategies to preach around the world. No, it was spontaneous because his Krishna consciousness was so deep. Whatever he spoke, it used to be perfect. Imagine you type a letter or an email to someone. How many times we press backspace? We press backspace and edit it. Can you imagine when Prabhupada dictated in his dictaphone, he did not say cancel. No, I didn't want to say that. Prabhupada spoke eloquently, spontaneously, and whatever he spoke was perfect. In his lectures, he did not say, by the way, I'm sorry, I did not mean to say that. I mean to see this. No, Prabhupada spoke spontaneously. And the reason was he was always connected to Krishna. In fact, in one of the discussions, one of Prabhupada's disciples come to him and he asks, and this was Panchadravida Maharaj. Panchadravida Maharaj spoke to Srila Prabhupada. At that time, Panchadravida Maharaj was preaching in the southern part of India. He tells to Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, it's very difficult to preach here because people know the scriptures. And that is another problem. If people do not know scriptures, it's very easy because they're innocent. You can give them Krishna consciousness easily. But if people know the scripture, the problem is even more difficult because I can relate to this. I was in UK for a few years. I was driving my car, but I started taking driving lessons again because I wanted to learn the proper way. Here, you know how the driving lessons are. Then the guy who hired me, he did a few lessons for me, and he said the price is this much. And I said, that looked a bit expensive. He charged me about 35 pounds. It was about 15 pounds or so, 15 or 20. Then I checked with my friends. They said it's 20 pounds. I asked him, why are you charging me more? And the first thing I got my mind was, oh, because I'm an Indian. No, he's racist. He's charging me more. So I told him, why are you charging me 35 pounds? He said, because your driving is so bad, I have to spend extra 15 pounds to unlearn what you know. So too much effort for me because your driving is horrible. So I have to unteach what you know and then I have to teach you the right thing. So in that way, if people know some scriptures, there is another problem. You have to undo a lot of things before you give them the transcendental scriptures, which is Krishna consciousness, which is Prabhupada's scriptures, Prabhupada's teachings. So Prabhu Panchadravida Maharaj came and asked Srila Prabhupada. He expressed his feelings that this is the problem in southern part of India. Prabhupada said, no, it's very easy. You by heart 30 verses of Bhagavad Gita, you can defeat any Mayavadi in the southern part of India. It is easy because it's very easy to defeat. I'll tell you a simple example. I was talking to a person. This person has 3-4 cupboards of scriptures filled in his cupboard. His fortune is he has Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and Nectar of Devotion of Rupa Goswami. And he feels very offended to read Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, but because in this personal discussion, he was telling me, oh, Prabhupada has added Krishna everywhere where there is no Krishna. This was his personal words. And this happened to me. And he said, his famous kriti that he likes is Shankaracharya's Bhaja Govindam. He says, I love Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. He sang, the second line also he sang, Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshate Dukrun Karane Bhaja Govindam. He sang like this. And after half an hour of our discussion, he says, I want to take birth again. I said, he was elder to me. I said, Uncle, why? He says, I want to take birth in that Sanskrit village in Karnataka. And I want to learn everything of Sanskrit. I said, you just now sang Bhaja Govindam. Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshate dukrun karani. Now you want to take birth again and learn Sanskrit. He says, no, that is all okay, but I still want to learn Sanskritam. And he's 65 plus. So this is the bewilderment. He does not like Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad. I had to convince him that we took the verse, the famous verse, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. He had a conviction that man mana bhava means dedicate your mind to myself, not to Krishna. He had a conviction. When Prabhupada writes man mana bhava means to Krishna, see, man mana, Krishna, it is mana means me, my, that we. I said, who spoke this, man? This is Krishna who spoke. It's not you. No, it's not understood like that. Can you believe? So this is the problem with people who know scriptures, because maya apartha jnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. When maya steals your jnana, maya apaharta jnana, then you take the shelter of asuri bhava. So this is the problem. But Prabhupada's mercy is there upon us. So that is the mercy that Prabhupada was relishing. We see even in the incidents where Vyasaki Prabhu had gone to Kashmir to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. We had a library team then. I don't know if we have one here. In Melbourne, we have this library team. We go to libraries around the state and give Prabhupada's books. We give a presentation. We go with nice suit, boot, and tie. We give a presentation, and then we say it's good to have these books in your library. And then we ask for a donation. We don't give it free of cost. We say you pay us with a reduced discount, and we'll give you the books. Like that, we've been able to put Prabhupada's books in many libraries. Vyasaki Prabhu, during the time of Srila Prabhupada, were doing this. There was a library team. So this team was in Kashmir. When they went to this Kashmir library, Kashmir even then was about 70 to 80% Muslims at that time. When they went to this library in charge, he said, oh, we have these books. Vyasaki Prabhu said, this is the first time we are coming to Kashmir to distribute. Then he brought the books. These books were the first print of Srila Prabhupada, the 3 books of the first canto. They were surprised to know that Srila Prabhupada was there in this library. He had traveled all the way to Kashmir to this library to give his books, to distribute his books. So Vyasaki Prabhu was shocked. This is the first books of Srila Prabhupada. And then they came to tell this to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was so happy to realize that they have still kept the books. And Prabhupada was so humble to accept, yes, I was there before I
traveled overseas, I had gone to this library to distribute. I took the tunnel which travels from Jammu to Kashmir, and I had gone to Kashmir to give these books to that library. So Prabhupada had taken so much pain to distribute these books. He was not a young man. He was 60 plus, 65 plus at that time. And still he had done those challenges. He had taken up those challenges. That is why Prabhupada's mercy is all composed in his books, actually. His ecstasy, Prabhupada said, these are not my purports, these are my ecstasies. Every line, every word of Srila Prabhupada is his ecstasies. And therefore, we have to relish deeply in diving deep into his ecstasies. Every time we read Prabhupada's books, we have to question, why? What was Prabhupada's heart thinking when he wrote this line? In fact, talking about book distribution, there is a very dear episode that strikes my heart, which I will share, which I had read in one of the emails that we had got. This is about a devotee in Russia. Russia has one of the largest congregations in the world, and they are known for their ardent practice of devotional service. This happened about 25 30 years 25 years ago, I think. And this was a female Vaishnavi. There was Vaishnavi name by name Ragalekha Dasi. How many of you heard of her story, Ragalekha Mataji? There was a devotee. She was a disciple of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Swami Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj. Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was invoked by his disciple that there is your disciple who wants to meet you, Maharaj. Maharaj says, I'm very busy. I cannot come to personal darshans anymore. But his disciple says, Maharaj, we plead, you should come to this lady's house. Somehow Maharaj says, okay, I'll give her 15 minutes. The moment Maharaj, this is written by Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj himself. It is his own words. Maharaj says, as soon as he entered her apartment, this was a small apartment in the midst of Russia, in the city, and it was a single bedroom apartment. There was nothing in the apartment except there are two rooms, one single room and a kitchen. That's it. In the room, in the corner, there was Govardhan Shila, a small Govardhan Shila on a nice seat, a cushion, and nicely decorated with very scant flowers and a single jewelry, a necklace. And they had one chair. And in the kitchen, he saw there were two utensils. And this lady, Mataji, was sitting in a corner with her pallu, and her head was bent down. Maharaj understood that this apartment is like a kutir. It is not by a grihamedhi. It's not by a grihamedhi where we'll have a big black screen in the middle called television, and all of those naitha. There was nothing like that. This was a kutir, a bhajan kutir. He could understand by the atmosphere of that. Then Maharaj sat down and she paid her obeisances, and she gave an envelope with some Lakshmi in it. Maharaj accepted it, and then Maharaj looked at the disciple, looking at the time. Shall we go? It's time up. The disciple started speaking about her. He said, Maharaj, this is Ragalekha Dasi, your disciple. Because Maharaj had many disciples, he probably does not remember. He says, oh, okay. 13 years ago, you had given her one instruction, Maharaj. Not personally, in the group. Go and dedicate your life for distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. That was one line Maharaj had said. Maharaj, from that day, 13 years ago, she has been going to book distribution 6 days a week, 365 days a year for the last 13 years, Maharaj. Not a single day she has not gone for book distribution, Maharaj. And whatever Lakshmi she collects, Maharaj, she has now just offered it to you. That is equivalent to 1 year's salary of a person who works in Russia, Maharaj, and she collects that much and gives it to you, Maharaj. And Maharaj says, wow, what does she do for a living? Maharaj, we disciples bring her some food, otherwise she doesn't eat at all. Whatever somebody gives her, she eats. If somebody does not give her, she doesn't eat. Only on days when she is very, very sick, she doesn't go for book distribution. Otherwise, she goes to book distribution every day. She has only one sari, Maharaj. She has only one sari. By this time, Maharaj had tears in his eyes. This is Tamal Krishna Maharaj. You all know how strict he was. By this time, Maharaj had tears in his eyes. They said, Maharaj, today she took a break from our book distribution just to invite you to her apartment, Maharaj, because she wanted to serve you in her own apartment. It was her desire, so we did not want to displease her. Maharaj he couldn't control his tears, not because the Maharaj had mixed feelings. And then uh, Maharaj takes up the money and he gives it to her to say, I am taking my disciples for a Vraj Dham Yatra this fall, this October. You should come and join us during Kartik. She humbly begs and she says, Maharaj, I think you should keep it because this is the money that I have collected from Karmis. If I use it for my purpose, then they will not get the benefit. But this money goes in your service, Maharaj, all of them will get delivered. So please use this in your service, Maharaj. I should not be using it for my selfish needs. So by this time, Maharaj understood that this person is very transcendent. She is not a normal Vaishnavi or a female or a male. She is beyond all of these designations. Then Maharaj, the disciple of Maharaj said, Maharaj, we have arranged for her ticket. We have all pooled the money. So she will be in the Yatra, Maharaj. So please don't worry about it. So your Lakshmi, you can keep the Lakshmi, Maharaj. By then she gets up and pays full obeisances, Sashtang Pranam. The disciple tries to stop her. Maharaj says, no, don't stop her. Because usually women don't pay Sashtang. They only pay Panchang Pranam. Maharaj says, material designations don't apply to her. She is beyond this body. Don't stop her. And even on that day, she distributes books in a marketplace where there are two security guards. Every day she fights with the security guards to distribute books, irrespective of what the security guards say. And the security guards were very strong, like KGB agents. Because of her demeanor, the security guards themselves had become softened, and they used to bring food for her. They used to say, you are too weak, you should not push yourself so hard, we will help you to distribute books. They were actually, their heart were converted just by her presence in that war-torn area of Russia. This is of those times I'm talking about. So this is one example of one Ragalekha Devi Dasi in Russia. Maharaj writes in his letter that my heart swells with pride that my Guru Maharaj's books, that is Srila Prabhupada's books, is distributed by just one sentence that I have spoken. So it is Prabhupada who has sent such disciples to me. So, and then the second thing he says, is this person incidentally is my disciple, but she is transcendental. She does not belong to this world. By her own demeanor, she was setting an example. So this is one example of transcendental personalities in this movement called ISKCON. That is why ISKCON, sometimes people from an outside perspective, we think this is just like, some other samstha, some other thing that is doing just some cult practice of Krishna. It is not. It directly comes under the Daivim Prakritim. It comes under the internal potency of the Lord. It is just the bhava of the devotee. If he is externally conscious, then it is not under Daivi Prakriti. But if he becomes internally conscious by studying Srila Prabhupada's books and distributing it, he immediately comes under the shelter of Srimati Radharani. That is why we are very fortunate to be able to do this, accept this preaching of Srila Prabhupada. Somebody might say, Prabhu, book distribution is an external activity. Actually, Prabhupada says it is not. Because think about this lady. Is this person, Ragalekha Mataji, anything less than a sadhu who prays and meditates on the peaks of the Himalayas in Badri or Kedarnath? No, because her consciousness is in tune with Krishna. Otherwise, how can somebody do it consistently for 13 years, every day, with so much austerity? And that too, she does not have an upbringing like us. No Bharatiya Samskriti, Samskaras since the birth, nothing of that sort. And still she was practicing such heightened state of consciousness. This can only mean that the power of Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada has invested in this movement, in his books especially. That is why the external activity of Krishna, of distributing books, has to do with how do we strengthen that activity? By investing our time in our, how do we become very powerful book distributors? By impeccable sadhana, by our bulletproof sadhana, giving time for ourselves in the morning. when we come to the morning program and chant attentively 16 rounds in one go. When I say one go, Mangalarti time, the whole Mangalarti time is called as one go. It's not that one sitting, at least before the sunrise. If we complete our 16 rounds, that equips us to distribute books. Go out and distribute books. When we distribute books, again, distributing books also is a meditation. It is to be done for ourselves. Not that I have the authority to give books. I am just the instrument. Vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Because Krishna is manifesting these people to give the books. So therefore, book distribution also is a transcendental activity. In fact, we have so many examples. At least I can quote a few examples. In Melbourne, during the COVID time, there was this young boy, 21 years old. I think he was not even 20 at that time. He was strolling in the beach of St. Kilda. St. Kilda is a very famous beach in Melbourne, and it is just next to our temple, 197 Dank Street. He had a desire to read Bhagavad Gita. We don't know how that desire came in his heart. So he was walking. He was a young, usually in Melbourne, if you have younger boys, they go on these, the skateboard. You know, the skateboard? They always have a skateboard with them. And the skateboard was there, and he was walking and strolling on the beaches. When he was having this desire, because COVID times, there was a restriction that only 2 people can go out. You can't assemble more than 2 people. So he and his friend were walking on the sand. He had this desire, and he was expressing it to his friend that, I need to trial out this Bhagavad Gita, because they were all doing some spiritual activities. And he was thinking I should read Bhagavad Gita. Right then, there is this Mataji, very famous in Melbourne, called Mahalakshmi Mataji. She approaches, she was also doing books on the beach. And she just hands over the Bhagavad Gita in his hand. And she says, please take this Bhagavad Gita and make your life successful. He looks at the Bhagavad Gita and he was shocked, because right then he was thinking, I want to read Bhagavad Gita, and these are the words from his own mouth. He is a devotee in Melbourne, and he visited Bharata just 2 months back in the Kartik for his first time, and he's just 22 years old. Is it not? He's 22, 23, very young chap, born and brought up in the suburban Melbourne. He was shocked to see the reciprocation of the universe. For him, it was not God at that point in time. He says, I desired Bhagavad Gita and it manifested. There must be something strange. And he expressed this to the lady. And that Mataji said, oh, by the way, there's a temple here. We have prasadam. You should come. So he came to the temple. This was COVID times. COVID, only the pujaris were allowed. And there, pujaris are all grihasthas. They come and do their seva and they go. Whoever are residing closer to the very similar to what happens in Radha Vinod's dham here. So the temple was pretty much closed. So the temple commander thought this is a good opportunity to paint the temple, because people are not there. So we'll renovate whatever has to be done, the repair, we will do it at this time. So incidentally, this guy was a painter. So he started living in the temple, started painting the temple now. So he started painting, and in Melbourne temple was built by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada had stayed there in this temple for many months. He used to come and lecture there. I was talking this to Vitthal Pran Prabhu yesterday. So there are a lot of intricate, they're not carvings, but they are plaster of Paris, but they're very intricate pillars, very artistic. So each pillar, after a few years, we had all painted it white, because it's difficult to paint all the show things with the different colors. So now the devotees, the brahmacharis thought we will really give it a good paint with at least 5-6 different colors. There are peacocks, there are Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and all of those. So then this boy had applied himself to paint the temple for the next 1 year. Like that, he became a permanent resident of the temple. Just one desire of Bhagavad Gita, he became a permanent resident of the temple. Another German backpacker, again, a boy of 25-year-old. We have a restaurant called Crossways. It's a restaurant, is a 40-year-old restaurant. We cook in the temple, and then this prasadam is served for students, basically. So it's sold for a discounted price. Our temple pretty much runs based on 3 restaurants. Our temple is managed by 3 restaurants, actually. They bring us the revenue, actually, by distributing prasadam. Crossways. So he came into this Crossways because it's discounted food, discounted prasadam, hot prasadam, but they have a set menu. Around 7 days, they have a set menu. And the star attraction in that is halwa, or in Kannada, kesari bath. So every day there is a different halwa, pineapple halwa, grapes halwa, whatever, sultana halwa and banana halwa. There's like fig halwa and things like that. So this, it's very famous in the Australian community as well. There are people who are coming to this restaurant for the last 15 years who like the halwa there. This German, is one young boy. He came, and when they have prasadam, in the middle of the table, there are small books, coming back, Perfection of Yoga, Rajavidya. He picked up the book while he was eating. He picked up Perfection in Krishna Consciousness, or maybe Perfection in Yoga. It's based on the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Picked up that book. He felt really amazing because he was eating prasadam in his mouth, Swayameva Spuratyadaha. He's taken it in his tongue and he's reading the book. What more medicine can happen, A medicine to the mind, medicine to the heart, medicine to the tongue. Immediately he thought, I should visit the center. He flipped for the address. He came to the temple. He was a backpacker. He had $2,000 some change in his bank account. He drew the money, put it all in the hundi, and joined the temple. In 1 week, he was a temple resident. His both mother and father were rich doctors in Germany. That was a big shock for them. But he joined the temple, and he still comes to the temple. He's initiated devotee now. So these are the power of Srila Prabhupada's books. We are the example I told about COVID is just 4 years back. So it is still happening. The magic is still happening, although maybe not in such huge numbers. Generally in the Melbourne, what we do is we give the books with Harinam. Harinam team goes out, and when the Harinam is happening, they're singing and dancing, we hand out the books. Generally, this combo works very nice. I'll tell you one story of the Harinam team. There is Harinam Ruchi team. Do you all know about the Harinam Ruchi team? There is a Harinam Ruchi team which goes around the world doing Harinam. You just Google Harinam Ruchi in YouTube, you'll find them. There are a team of mix of devotees from all parts of the world. I was wondering who funds them. How do they travel around the world? You know how they travel? They buy books, they do books, and it is that money from the books which they book the tickets. They book 6 months rotatory tickets. So if you book 6 months in advance around the world ticket, you get it for a cheaper discount. Like for $20,000 or $15,000 US, you can travel around the world. So they book their route, buy their books, and they travel around the world doing Sankirtan and books. This team was in Queensland during the, they were in Melbourne, they were stuck in Melbourne. They couldn't come out. So there were 2 devotees who were doing Harinam all the time. They were going out every day in the morning. We could see it outside the door. Hare Krishna, one Mridanga, one Kartal. They were going out like this, and they used to come back after 2 hours. So like that, they were traveling across Australia. In Queensland, this was just after COVID. COVID had relaxed. In Queensland, they were going around to the remotest places of Australia. And there are certain villages in Australia where they have not seen even a non-white body. They're so remote places. They can't hold any black bodies in their town. So they try pretty aggressive about it. In that town, there was this bikie. In Western world, the bikie gangs means gundas. So they'll have tattoos everywhere, full shaved head and everything. They'll be like literally gundas. So this gunda guy stopped his team. They were singing and dancing on the street. He stopped him with his bike. And he said, what are you guys doing here in this town? They said, we are saints. We are distributing books. Somehow he said, come to my place. I know Harinam Prabhu in the team. So he said, we were a bit scared because his looks itself was like, like Yamraj. So they anyways, nevertheless went because they needed a place to stay. These devotees stay in a house, whichever house they find, they stay. They get a stove, they cook their prasadam, they offer, they eat, they stay there. So they need a house. That's how they do. So they went to his place. He said, you can stay in the mezzanine floor. So he had a mezzanine floor, the first floor. So they went there, they started cooking. By that time, so he was reading the books of Srila Prabhupada. So they had prasadam. So he called, the team called him for prasadam. They all had prasadam. And then they all went to bed. They had spoken to him about the glories of Prabhupada, Harinam Sankirtan, and book distribution. Midnight, 12 a.m., lot of noise starts coming inside the house. Harinam Prabhu says, what happened, guys? These are, alcoholics, smokers. They must be drinking. So they came up and saw this guy. There were 5 to 6 of his friends who had come visiting. At what time? Midnight. Because Nishachara, Pranis, all, they start their party at 12 o'clock in the night. They observed, they were smoking. This guy was speaking to them. What was he speaking? Guess, take a guess. He was actually talking about Srila Prabhupada. He was talking to them about Srila Prabhupada's books. He went and brought Srila Prabhupada's books and he says, these guys are genuine guys. You should all buy books and donate money to them. And Hri Hanuman Prabhu says, yeah, one prasadam is already converted and he's doing book distribution already. So they were already doing, he was already doing book distribution. So anyways, that episode ended. It did not end there. So what happened? They moved on. So they moved from town to town and they keep on going like that. And when they come back, they try to connect back to the same people whom they had met. So they came back to the same town after maybe 2 weeks, and they came back to his house. He was not there. The house was locked. So someone said he's not there anymore. He met with an accident. So the devotees were a bit shocked to say, "Oh, we just did Harinam in his house. How come he can meet with an accident?" And then they anyways finished the Harinam. They stop near usually in Melbourne and all, near the parks. There are places where you can cook. They're called as barbecue pots. So that's where these devotees cook their prasadam and have their prasadam. So they stopped near a beach to do this, and they were having their prasadam and they were doing their kirtan. And someone shouts, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna!" And this look at this guy, and he's limping. He's limping with a crutch, and he's running towards them. And they said, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" I don't know what his name was. For argument's sake, let's say it's John. And he says, "You know what happened? I met with an accident because he was a biking. So he's met with a very drastic, dreadful accident, and he was supposed to be killed in that accident." He says, "Your book saved me, man, because you are saints. You came to my house. I was not killed. I had a broken leg. You guys saved me. You give me some of your books. I want to distribute it." So he took more books. He gave more Lakshmi to these devotees. And that is how one soul had been touched. Somewhere in the remote part of Australia, this is happening. So Harinam Prabhu and the Ruchi team says, these are ticking time bombs. Prabhupada's books are ticking time bombs. We may not see them becoming devotees now or in the next 10 years, but their generations or the next generation, they will become devotees. This is the transcendental power of Srila Prabhupada's books. And that's why Prabhupada says, Prabhupada had gone around the world distributing these books. And Prabhupada especially was distributing books made Prabhupada very happy, very excited. Utsahan. That's why Utsahan Nishchayat Dhairyat Tat Karma Pravartanat. Upadeshamrita Rupa Goswami writes. So this book marathon is a very pleasing activity to Srila Prabhupada. We must ardently take this activity and distribute books to everyone. Everyone, no matter whomever they are, we need to at least attempt to distribute books, whether they take it or not, because that becomes a part of our meditation. Apani Aswadi Bhakti Karila Prachar. So this is how we do our preaching. So thank you very much. I'll stop here. If there are any questions or comments, I thank Narahari Prabhu for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all of you for lending an eager ear. If there are any realizations or some corrections, if you want to, please, we can have it for a few minutes. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. You really made our day. Okay, and inspired us to do some book distribution.
Thank
It
you.
was nice hearing about Prabhupada and Krishna. Here, a very important point arises since you are speaking on the shloka. These Mayavad sannyasis, is it because of the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu they got delivered, or is it that Ajna Sukriti on account of which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met these sannyasis? Could you throw some light on that?
Actually, thank you, Prabhuji. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a Mahavadanya avatar. If you see Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, these were very erudite scholars in the Mayavada Sampradaya. But yet, Mahaprabhu had his mercy on these people. And in fact, as we said, it was because of his Apni Aswadi Bhakti. The way Mahaprabhu was relishing bhakti himself, it was so intoxicating that no Mayavada can sustain in front of his experience of bhakti. So this experience of bhakti itself is so powerful that it can intoxicate anyone, even the hard-hearted Mayavadis. So it is, in one sense, yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not make an external attempt to preach to these people and convert them to transcendental knowledge. but it was just his experience which was intoxicating to the Mayavadi sannyasis themselves. This is just my little understanding, Prabhu. And in fact, one may also see the Lord is merciful to us by whom? Aham Bhakta Paradhina. It is the Brahmana, the Maharashtrian Brahmana. In the summary of this chapter, in the 25th chapter, Prabhupada begins that a Maharashtrian Brahmana had a heart to save these Mayavadi sannyasis. So it is the heart of the devotee by which the Lord becomes obliged to give mercy, actually. So therefore, it is important to bring the mercy of the devotees in our lives. That is sadhu sangha. Even a minute sangha of the sadhus can bestow us the mercy of the Lord. So this is another perspective also to see that was that Brahmana's desire by which Mahaprabhu came. Actually, Mahaprabhu did not want to come, but because of the request of the Maharashtra Brahmana in the Banaras, he came. So therefore, it is the heart of a devotee by which the Lord becomes obliged. Thank you, Prabhuji. There are no questions. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Shri Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Marathon ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand, Shivancha Kalpataru Kripa Sindhukya.
Hare Krishna. So let us all thank Prabhuji and express a deep gratitude for this wonderful class on how to inspire for book distribution. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And let us all, and we also have the Kannada translation by His Grace Anukul Seva Prabhu. So let us all thank both of them and express our deep gratitude for loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Speak announcements. We have two sponsors today for Sunday Feast Prasadam. We have His Grace Sankarshan Priya Prabhu, who has sponsored the Sunday Feast and is seeking blessings from this assembly here. And the Lordships for his younger daughter Vaishnavi's birthday, that was on 13th December. And we also have his father-in-law, Dr. Nagasundaram, who wanted to sponsor Prasadam today in the memory of his son-in-law, Sri Ganapati Subramaniam. They're all seeking blessings from the Lord and the assembly here for the spiritual benefit. So let us all once chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We also have Premdatta Prabhu. Do we have Sankarshan Priya Prabhu here? Maybe later given the Mahaprasadam. Premdatta Prabhu is also requesting prayers for his mother, who is undergoing radiation therapy as part of her cancer treatment. So Prabhuji is requesting devotees for her well-being and improvement in her cancer condition in the longer life. So let us all also pray once for Mataji, for her health and spiritual benefits. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have Ekadashi, Safala Ekadashi on 26th. Parana time is on 27th from 7:12 to 10:27. Madhumati Mataji, we all know, lost a mother on 16th December. Madhumati Mataji is also seeking prayers so that her mother can achieve the highest upward destination. Her mother, Vijayamba Mataji, left her body last Monday, that is on 16th December. Please let us also pray for the soul so that it gets a higher destination. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Those who have not collected or yet to collect Devaki Mataji's books, those who had prepaid, we will set up the counter again today so that you can come and please collect your books. You can tell us your name and your phone number so that we can validate and we can give over the books. So please ensure you collect it today without fail. And last Sunday, we had announced about the wonderful, beautiful canvas painting that we're going to have on the wall, where Parikshit Maharaj is listening to, and the sages are listening to Shukadeva Goswami. So as of now, so we had announced that it's all tentative around 50,000 was the Lakshmi that was needed. And till date, we have collected almost all of the money, but we still have 3,000 rupees. That is, if in case anybody wants to sponsor right away. So this painting, I'll just call out the names who have already given the donations. We have Prakash Atma Prabhu, we have Murari Prabhu, Sanjay Gupta Prabhu, Kumari Mataji, Uddhav Priya Prabhu, Vijayashri Mataji has given the Lakshmi. We also have Dinabandhu Chaitanya Prabhu. We also have Janani Mataji who had given some Lakshmi. So as of now, we are short of only 3,000 rupees. So anybody who would like to donate, we have Ishwari Prabhu who want to give us donation. We also have Sarvatma Rishikesh Prabhu. So please connect with me so that I can collect the Lakshmi. And we will have the painting is almost ready. We have framed it, so it's all ready. So we'll have it installed. We have the painting is already here, it's covered. So we'll remove the cover and we'll have it installed on the wall over there. We will have, as always, as yearly, we have this celebration on 31st. We do our way of celebration of 31st and welcoming the new year. So we're going to have a beautiful, wonderful celebration on 31st with Kirtan, with obviously a food festival. So food for the soul and food for the belly as well. And we will also have children's mela. So children also will be engaged. So we have Radharan Prabhu and other devotees and Swayam Prakash Prabhu who are organizing and managing the show. So the show the carnival, it's called as a Kirtan Carnival, will have, it starts at 5:30 p.m. So all are welcome. You can also invite your near and dear ones. There will be some set of instructions because I think that Prabhu is going to do a little difference where you have to pre-order. So we'll let all the instructions know to you all. Please stay tuned on the WhatsApp group. So we'll have on 31st, New Year's Eve, we'll have Kirtan Carnival from 5:30 p.m. with Kirtan, food festival, and children's mela as well. This will be organized in the lawn outside. We also are going to have Hg Hanuman Prabhu. Swayam Prakash, you want to announce this? So we have a 2 days Japa workshop based on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Hg Hanuman Chintamani. Date and time will be 4th January. That's a Saturday and Sunday. So 4th and 5th, it's a 2-day Japa workshop based on Hg Hanuman Chintamani. 4th and 5th from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. So 4th, it will be 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5th, it will be 11 a.m. to 12:30. The language is English. It will be held in the temple. There is a small registration fee of 300 rupees. Those who want to register, please contact Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu. Prabhuji is here? No. So I'll just repeat the announcement again. We will be having 2 days Japa workshop based on Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Hg Hanuman Chintamani on 4th and 5th. 4th is a Saturday. It will be from 8 a.m. with some breaks in between till 2 p.m. And 5th January, it will be from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So please take full benefit of it. And Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu will be here. Please connect with him. And after the class, I mean, right now we'll have, as last Sunday we had the drama. This time